Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This week I'm going to be talking about 24 books that I want to read in 2024. These are books that have been sitting on my shelf forever, and I really want to get to these books this year. Of course, I'll read more than 24 books, but these are the 24 books that I have to get to in 2024. So I'm going to start with The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. This book has been sitting on my shelf for years. I read another one of her books before and I really liked it, so I think I'll enjoy this one. It's got mixed reviews on Goodreads, but it's mainly about a group of college friends who go to the Scottish Highlands for New Year's. There's one reason why I picked this book is because it's a New Year's book. This will be the first book that I read in 2024. So I am very excited to get started with this one. The next book, number 2, The Pictures of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. This book was written in 1890s, so it might be a little bit difficult to read. I think that's why I put it off, is because sometimes the writing in books this old can be it takes me a little bit longer to understand what they're trying to say. But I have heard great things about this book. There's a couple of booktubers that I watch who really love this book, so I'm really excited to read this one. I don't really read the synopsis of every book. I feel like it spoils it sometimes, so if you're wanting an in-depth look at what these books are really about, I suggest you look on Goodreads. The next book is Billy Summers by Stephen King. I love Stephen King's writing. I know this book's going to be so good, but the only thing that's going to hold me back, she's a thickie. I get a little bit intimidated when books are over 400 pages, and this one is over 500. So, like I said, I know it's going to be good. Stephen King's writing is always so good, and once you start reading it, the pages just really fly by because you're just so hungry to read the next page. So I know it's going to be good. I just a little intimidated. This one is about a killer for hire, so I know it's going to be good. Book number 4 is The Book of Longing by Sue Monk Kidd. I absolutely adore Sue Monk Kidd's writing. I read The Secret Life of Bees, The Mermaid Chair. Her books are so good. The Invention of Wings, they're so good. This book is about a girl who meets Jesus. From the Book of Longing, it seems as if she falls in love with him. So we'll have to see about that. As a Christian, I worry about this book being sacrilegious in a way, but I'm going to give it a try. I love Sue Monk Kidd. I'm just going to keep it in the back of my head that this is fantasy, so we'll go from there, but I am excited to read that one. The next book is The Library Book. I have never heard of this book, but it was a book that I won during the summer reading program at our library. This is the book that they gave me for winning that. It says it's about the Los Angeles Public Library book fires in the 1980s. So that sounds pretty interesting. It's also Reese Witherspoon book club book, so I have high hopes for this one. Like I said, I don't really read a whole lot of the synopsis, so I don't know anything other than it's about the fires in the 80s. So I'm very interested to see how this is, and I think this is a beautiful book. I love it. It's probably one that I will keep on my shelf for many years. The Last Thing He Told Me. I don't know what this book is about, but I have seen this on Twitter, on BookTube. It gets recommended to me on Goodreads all the time, so I think that it will be. Here is another one that I have been wanting to read for a long time, and I have been putting off because it's so thick. But Cloud Cuckoo Land This is the author that wrote All the Light We Cannot See, which was an amazing book. It's another reason why I put this one on my list is because I know it's going to be so good. His writing is so good. But good golly, Miss Molly, this thing is thick. 622 pages. Hopefully, once I get going, get reading, I'll be able to speed through it. It won't seem as bad as it looks, but goodness gracious. Here we go again. Another thickie, The Fountain of Silence by Ruta Sepetys. I've read 2 or 3 of her books before in the past, and I've got a couple of them on this list now. But her writing is so good. Hers is historical fiction. This one, I'm pretty sure is, yes, it's written about Spain, and the cover is absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to dive into this one. I say it's another thickie. That seems to be the theme this year, but I really want to get to these books. I know they're going to be so good. I just have to get over that intimidation factor and just read them already. This one is The Maiden. I remember when I bought this book, I went to my local bookstore. I had a couple of books I was wanting to sell, sold them, and then turned around and bought this book with the money, and it's been sitting on my shelf ever since. And I just feel like this year is the year I'm going to read Maidens. I know that this one has to do with college. Oh, this says a spellbinding tale of psychological suspense, weaving together Greek mythology, murder, and obsession. That sounds so good. This one might be a little bit higher up on my list now that I read that. It Girl by Ruth Ware. I have so many Ruth Ware books on my shelf. I read, I think it's The Girl in Cabin 10. Not sure. I feel like that's the name of it. But I read that one a couple years ago, and it was okay. And I think that that's really discouraged me from picking up her books again, because I'm just, it was all right. It wasn't that great. But I know this is one of her newer books, so I am excited to read this one. I have several of her books on my shelf, and I know other people that have read them and enjoyed them. I just don't know if they're for me. I'm going to give it another try, though, with the It Girl. Dating Dr. Dill. This one looks very interesting to me. I love romance novels, so I know I'm going to love this one. I found this one at a thrift store, and it's a book of the month book, so I'm always very interested in those. I know that they really promote really good books, but I haven't heard anybody talking about this book. I haven't really seen anybody who's read it, so I don't really know what it's about or if it's any good. But the cover is beautiful. I'll probably be reading this one in February. So, Dating Dr. Dill. Love has met its match. A Gentleman in Moscow. I have heard everybody and their mother talking about how much they love this book. It is rated really high on Goodreads. It's another one of those thicky books. It's not too bad, but it is a little thick. I have no idea what it's about, but I have heard endless good reviews about this one. This is one that I know I'm going to like. The Dinner List. This one has been on my shelf for a long time. I'm pretty sure that I got this book at the Dollar Tree, believe it or not. I got it because it has Audrey Hepburn's picture on the front. I'm pretty sure that this is about a girl who has to write a paper or something about people who she wants to have dinner with, dead or alive. Audrey Hepburn's on her list. Really interested to see where this one goes. This could be a hit or a miss. I have read Rebecca's books before, and it was another one of those authors where it was like, okay, not too bad, but it wasn't really that great. So I'm interested to see where this one lands. Not too thick, so I should be able to finish it pretty quickly. Love the cover. So yeah, we'll see where this one takes us. The Sanatorium. This is also a Reese Witherspoon book. I have heard mixed reviews on this one too. It's sort of a Agatha Christie style book. A group of friends get stuck in the mountains. One of them's a killer. You gotta figure out who did it. Sometimes I like these kind of books. Sometimes I feel like they're repetitive. Like if you've read one book like this, you've read them all. I'm hoping that's not the case with this one. I really hope to enjoy this one. The cover is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, so I hope that I enjoy this one. We'll see. The Roommate. Once again, I love me a good romance. I got this one at the library's book sale that they had this past year, and the cover was just right up my alley. Temptation is just across the hall. Sounds steamy. I can't wait to read it. This book is a book that I won during a Goodreads giveaway. So this is the arc for it. By now, this has been in completion. Yeah, this came out in February. So this book it mimics the whole Britney Spears conservatorship thing. So I'm very interested to see how much this really compares to Britney's story. I think that it's a great concept. I am very interested to see how this book is. It's a beautiful cover. We'll see. Need to get to it. It was a gift. Daughters of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I loved Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. It was so good. I think about that duology all the time. So good. So I really, 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 really hope that I fall in love with this series like I did the other one. I have the second book on my shelf. I didn't put it with this group just because I want to read the first one first. Sometimes I have this problem where I read the first book in a trilogy and I just, that's all I read. I don't finish the series. I'm really bad about that. But Laini Taylor usually does it for me, so I'm really, really hoping to love this one. Once again, I have no idea what it's about, but it is obviously fantasy, so I'm very excited to read this one this year. This is another book that I picked up at a thrift store. I've never heard of it before, but it's called Split. A couple years ago, I started watching this girl on YouTube who has identity disorder, and this is what this is. It's where your brain sets up these walls of amnesia, and in those walls, you have different personalities. They've made several movies about them, and the girl that I watch on YouTube says that that is not an accurate representation of IDD. This book is supposed to be about IDD, Split. So I'm very interested to see if it is a true representation of this disease or if it's mocking it. We'll see. Seems as if it might be a little spicy by the look that he's giving, but I have no idea what it's about. I just assume it's about IDD. It might not even be about that. So we will see. This book, Vampire Academy. I have heard so much about the movies, the shows. Everybody was obsessed with vampires there for a while. I never got got into Twilight, so I'm not really sure how I'm going to feel about this book. But I love some high fantasy. I feel like this will just scratch that itch. There's a whole bunch of books in this series, so if I do like it, I will have plenty to read. And then maybe I'll watch the show after. Who knows? Hopefully I'll enjoy it. The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. So, when I was a kid, I was assigned to read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Fell in love with the Chronicles of Narnia. So about 5 years ago, I started where I was going to read every book in this series. There's 7 books. And this year, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. I have read this book in middle school, but that's been quite a few years ago, so I am going to reread it. I know I'm going to love this book. It is a fantasy. I know that there are several characters from the other books that show up in this book, so I am excited to hop right back into the Narnia universe. This book is all over BookTube, all over Goodreads. We Were Liars. I have no idea what this book is about, but I know that this is a very popular book. It's been sitting on my shelf for so many years, and I am genuinely excited to read this one this year and see what all the hubbub is about. This is another Ruta Sepetys book, Salt to the Sea. I am very interested in this one. I have a feeling this one's going to be sad. Winter of 1945 for Refugees, 4 Secrets. So yeah, this one's probably going to be a little bit sad, but I feel like it will be worth the read. Ruta Sepetys' writing is always so beautiful, so magical, even when it is sad. So I'm very excited. Will Grayson by John Green. I have read a John Green book every year for so many years now, and I'm finally down to the last one. And then the last book that I have is They Both Die at the End. This is another very, very popular book. You see it everywhere online. And I have a feeling that this one is going to make me tear up too. So these are the books that I plan on reading in 2024. I will keep y'all updated on what I'm reading and if I like it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next year. Bye.